Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to today's Halloween version of Exercise with Exos. Even though we have been doing a lot of Halloween themes, it makes me a little sad because today's the last one. And I'm going to wait until I'm explaining things to show you guys my costume. I'm pretty excited about it. Luis also dressed up, and Brittany, who should be hopping on here shortly, is also dressed up. So if you have any costume ideas, let me know what you guys are going to be this year for Halloween if you're doing anything. Or if you decided to dress up with us today, you can tell us what you are if you don't want to show us. But anyways, so today's workout, we're going to be doing something that's like similar to what we've done before, but will be a little bit different. So we are going to do a Tabata style today. So we're going to do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, but we're going to go through for 3 full minutes of one exercise before moving on to the next. So we've done it like last week. We did, every one in a row and then started back at the top. Today, as what we're doing is the student in gym clothes. I love it. Love it, Joan. So creative for you to be dressing up in gym clothes during workout class. Anyways, so we're going to be doing each one right in a row. So we're going to start today. We're spelling out fright. So that's what we're doing today. And if you cannot tell by all of our neon stuff, we are dressed up as jazzercise people today, which is my nickname. So we got it going on today. Brittany and I are nice and pink. So we're going to be doing fright. Okay, spelling that out. So the first thing is the F. So we're going to be doing Frankenstein sit-ups. So we're going to be laying down all the way on the ground, straight out like a board, and you're going to come up like we're Frankenstein, touch the toes, and back down. So we're using the core to sit up, touch toes, and back down. So we'll do that 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 3 minutes. And then the next thing we're going to do for the R in fright is we're going to be doing rotational squats. So we're going to have our feet shoulder width apart, just like a normal squat. We're going to come down, but then when we come up, we're going to rotate towards one direction, back down, push off, rotate. So right now, so if I squat down, I rotate towards my right, all of that weight is going to be in my right side, but I'm pushing and turning with my left. So we want to make sure we're keeping that core engaged so we can rotate through the whole entire upper body here, facing the opposite direction. So 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And then for the I, we're going to be doing bent over eyes. So we're going to have our hips are going to hinge just like an RDL. So our hips are back. Our arms are going to start straight down, and we're going to raise them just above to be like equal, parallel with the ground, and then back down. So we're going straight up, squeezing those shoulders and back down. So we want to make sure we're not shrugging as we get to the top. We're going to be nice and calm and relaxed all the way up and down. So those are the eyes. And then for the G, we're going to do glute bridge marches. So we'll be back on the ground, holding that high glute bridge, and then we're going to use that core to march, bringing each leg up one at a time. We want to make sure that we're engaging our glutes as we bring one knee up to make sure we're staying nice and stable. So we want those hips to be in one straight line. And then for the H, this H, you guys, it was really hard for me to come up with something. So we're doing high knees. So for the high knees, we want to make sure we're getting those knees up, 90-degree angle in the hips and the knee. So we'll be just jogging like this. And I'm probably not going to do that because my neighbors below me might get a little bit mad. So if you are not in the place to be doing high knees like that, we're just going to march. So same principle, getting those knees up nice and high. So it's just like a slow high knee. And then for the T, finally, we're going to do toe touches. So back on the ground, touching our toes, using that core. So that's the whole thing. So we're spelling out fright, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest, 3 minutes of one, and then we'll move on. So we'll do 3 minutes of Frankenstein sit-ups, and then move on to the next one. So Luis has been so kind as to put everything in the chat for you guys. So if you get lost or not sure what's coming up next, you can always look at that. But until then, we're going to go ahead and start with our warm-up. So we're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch. So we're going to stand up at the top of our space. And we're going to go ahead and take our knee. So I'm going to start with my right knee. Take it, hug it towards my chest. And drop back into a reverse lunge. Hands going on the inside. So the left hand is on the inside of the left leg. And then we're going to plant that right hand on the ground, open up, pointing the left hand towards the ceiling. Following your gaze, looking above, right past that thumb, keeping your core tight, back leg is straight. And now we're going to place a hand on the ground on the outside of the left foot, push up into a hamstring stretch. So trying to get as close to our leg as we can here, toes pointed up to get more of that stretch in the calf. And then we're going to bring the right foot towards the left foot and stand back up. So we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take our left leg, bring it in nice and close to the chest. And we're going to go into a reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of the foot. And we're going to open up, other side, right hand going straight towards the ceiling. Gazing past that thumb, keeping your back leg nice and straight. And we're going to place that right hand on the ground. Push up into a hamstring stretch. And we're going to bring the left foot next to the right foot and stand on up. Wonderful. So then the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to get our upper body warmed up a little bit more. So these are what I like to call hug the world, hug yourself. So we're just going to get our arms swinging, get our arms nice and warm. So we're going to hug the world, hug yourself. So we're just going to rotate, or sorry, not rotate, alternate, that's the word I'm looking for, between your top hand and your bottom hand, switching sides. Let's go ahead and hug ourselves 2 more times. All right. Now that our body's all nice and warmed up, we're going to get started. So we're starting off with the ground, Frankenstein sit-ups, you guys. So we're going to do 6 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, because we're doing 3 minutes total. So we're getting ready. We're on the ground. I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're laying all the way on the ground, and we're getting up like we're Frankenstein, just like when he's on the operating table. Want to make sure we're using that core and not our momentum here. Want to keep those heels on the ground as well. 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. Don't get used to it. That 10 seconds is going to go by faster and faster. 3, 2, 1. We're going again. More sit-ups. Frankenstein sit-ups. Want to make sure we're keeping those heels on the ground, because if we use our legs to pull us up, it's going to take all that work away from our core. So I want to make sure we're keeping our core activated. Pretend like we have an apple on our stomach and we're crushing it. 3, 2, 1. Take a 10-second rest. Great job, you guys. 2 more minutes of this. Still doing our sit-ups. 3, 2, 1, and go. Helps as well if you exhale as you come up to really engage that core. Making sure, again, not using the momentum here. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. I am moving across the floor right now. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Sit-ups again. Making sure we're not using momentum here. Trying to keep our upper body as straight as we can. The Frankenstein aspect of this. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. All right, we got 2 more of these, you guys, and then we're moving on to our rotational squats. 3, 2, 1. Go. We're trying to keep by keeping our core tight, we're going to help keep that back nice and flat. So we want to make sure we're coming up all at one time, using our core. Touching the toes every time. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. All right, you guys, last one of these. And then we got rotational squats. R and fright. 3, 2, 1, and go. Last set of our Frankenstein sit-ups. Great job, you guys. Really exhale as we come up. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 10 seconds, and then we're going to rotational squats. So we're getting ready. Feet shoulder width apart. 3, 2, 1. So we're going to squat down, push up rotate over to one side. We're getting that rotational movement in, not something we normally, a movement pattern we normally do throughout the day, but we're just mixing it up. The challenge of coming up 3, 2, 1. It's definitely the challenge of coming up with different exercises for different letters. It makes you get really creative. 3, 2, 1. We're going again. So squat down. Want to make sure we're pushing the ground away from us. Want to keep our whole foot on the ground. Heel big toe, little toe. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Great job, you guys. 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure we're squeezing those glutes as we push the ground away from us. When we rotate, we want to make sure we're keeping that core nice and tight here. It's going to help protect our spine in the squat portion, but also help our bodies rotate. And take a rest. Sorry, I wasn't watching the time. We're halfway done. We got 3 more to go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So want to make sure we're letting those knees track past second toe, explode up, push the ground away from you. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Awesome. We got 2 more to go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. Keeping that core nice and tight. Exploding through the squat. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze those quads. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. All right, you guys, last one. And then we're going to our eyes. So we'll be bent over, raising those arms overhead. 3, 2, 1, and go. Last set of rotational squats here. Make sure we're shifting our weight, but still keeping our weight in the heel, big toe, and little toe of our feet. 3, 2, 1. All right, 10 seconds. We're doing bent over eyes. So we're gonna have that hip hinge, arms going straight overhead. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're pushing those glutes back behind us, squeezing those shoulders to bring those arms overhead. I want to make sure we're not shrugging our shoulders here. 3, 2, 1. Whew. It's definitely a different way to work the arms versus a plank. So kind of need a break from those. 3, 2, 1, and go. Really squeezing those shoulders. We want to make sure our shoulder blades are pulled down and back because we want our back to have one nice straight line from our glutes all the way up to our head. So that includes our neck. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Some work, you guys. We're powering through this. 3, 2, 1. Push those hips back, slight bend in the knee. Try and get the chest as parallel to the ground as you can as we squeeze our shoulders and raise them overhand, head, with our shoulders as far away from our ears as we can get them. 3, 2, 1. Whew. It's like a simultaneous leg workout there. All right, halfway there. 3, 2, 1. We want to make sure our feet are still shoulder width apart here. Keeping our pelvis tucked and our core tight gives us a nice stable base for this movement. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We got 2 more. And then we're moving on to glute bridge marches. 3, 2, 1. Great job, everyone. Want to make sure our heel, big toe, little toe are still holding the weight for us here through this movement, keeping that lower body nice and stable. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. All right, you guys, one more, and then we're back on the ground for glute bridge marches. 3, 2, 1. Last round. Raising those arms above head, making a nice eye with our arms, keeping the core tucked, back flat. Everything nice and tight as we squeeze our shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're on the ground, you guys. We got 10 seconds of glute bridge marches. We want to make sure our feet are shoulder width apart. 3, 2, 1. We're holding that glute bridge as we lift each knee up. So I want to make sure core is nice and tight. Our pelvis is tucked. And our glutes are squeezed to make sure we're not rotating at the hips. 3, 2, 1. We already did our rotation movement. We're not trying to rotate in the marches. 3, 2, 1, and go. Try and keep those hips up as high as you can without letting our low backs dip. So we want to make sure everything is nice and tight through the low back. So that way we can use that core to drive the knees up. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Whew, good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1, and go. Keeping those glutes squeezed. Pelvis tucked. Hips as high as they can go. Using that core to bring the knees up, not the hip flexors. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We are halfway there. We got 3 more to go, and then we're moving on to our high knees or marches. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. Helps if you exhale just like most core exercises. Exhale as you bring those knees up. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We got 2 more to go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. Keeping those heels planted through the ground as we lift our opposite knee up. Keeping everything nice and tight here. 3, 2, 1. Whoops, take a rest. All right, last one, and then we are standing up for our marches or high knees, whichever you are doing today. 3, 2, 1, and go. I want to make sure we're keeping our feet at that hip width apart. Gives us that stability through the feet, through the legs to help with the marching. And take a rest. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the time. All right, you guys, we're up again for marches. We're going to 5, 3, 2, 1. So we're either high knees or marching, whichever one we're doing. We want to make sure we're creating nice 90-degree angles through the hip, through the knee, and we're punching the ground away from us. So we're going nice pace. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're getting those knees up as high as we can, making sure we are moving opposite arm, opposite leg. We're hammering down with those arms. Keeping our chest nice and open here. 3, 2, 1. Want to make sure we're keeping that core tight. Shoulder blades pulled down and back. We want good posture through this movement. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. If you're doing high knees, I applaud you. It's a lot of work to be doing high knees for that long. But I think my neighbors would be pretty upset if I was pounding on the ground like that. 3, 2, 1. We are halfway there. And then we got our toe touches, and then we're going to cool down. We're almost there to our last 3, 2, 1, and go. Our last Halloween themed workout. Makes me a little sad. It's been fun for these. But you guys better be ready because we're moving to Thanksgiving next week. Good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1. We got 2 more to go, and then we'll be on the ground for toe touches. Spelling out fright. 3, 2, 1, and go. And keeping our core tight. We want 90-degree angles in the knees, in the hips. We want to make sure we're pulling through the core, keeping that nice and tight. Want to make sure we're not pulling through those hip flexors. 3, 2, 1. We got 1 more round of that, and then we're on the ground for toe touches on our backs. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. Keep pushing. You're doing awesome. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're on the ground. Last exercise, you guys. Bring in our core on fire. 3, 2, 1. Legs in the air, touching our toes. Exhaling as we come up. Trying to make sure we're not using momentum here. We want to use the core. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. 3, 2, 1, and go. Just like all our other core exercises, we exhale as we come up. It's going to really make sure how we're using our core. We want to make sure our back is still flat on the ground. 3, 2, 1. We want to make sure our low back is on the ground. We don't want to be arching as we go up. So low back is plastered into the ground. 3, 2, 1. It's going to help us engage the core in all aspects. So our core is not just those superficial abs, but it also includes all of our abdominal muscles, or more than just your 6-pack. 3, 2, 1. But it also includes your like back muscles that help keep your spine nice and healthy. So we want to make sure our low back. 3, 2, 1. Our low back is on the ground to help strengthen all aspects of our core and of our pillar. Awesome job, you guys. 3, 2, 1. We got 2 more rounds. And then we'll do a nice cool down. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job, you guys. My eyes are getting tired. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 1 more to go. Want to keep those legs as straight as we can. 3, 2, 1, and go. Last one. We're almost there, you guys. Keep pushing through. Use that core. 3, 2, 1. That will conclude the last portion of our Halloween themed workouts for the month. That makes me so sad. Hope you guys have enjoyed them as much as I have enjoyed creating them. I like to have fun with holidays and themes. So stay tuned for what's to come for the next month. But we're going to go ahead and move into our cool down. You guys, we're going to start off on our hands and our knees. And we're going to start with some quadruped rocking, but we're going to do a nice adductor stretch with that. So we're going to have one leg straight out. So I'm going to use my left leg first. Straight out to the side like a kickstand, heel big toe, little toe on the ground. And from here, once we're in that position, we're going to rock back, hold for a few seconds, squeeze the glutes, and return to that starting position. We want to make sure we're keeping our core tight, back nice and flat. We're using this to help stretch out our hips, open up everything, stretch out the inner portion of our leg here. And wherever you're at, let's go ahead and make this your last one. And when you have done your 5, we're going to switch over to the other side. So first my left leg was straight out. And now I'm going to have my right leg, just like a kickstand. Heel big toe, little toe on the ground. Rock and back, hold for a few seconds, squeeze the glute, and come back up. If you need more of a hip opener, you can kind of bring that other knee that you're on the ground with a little bit further outside of your hips if that feels more comfortable for you, or if you need a little bit more of a hip opener here. We're still doing 5 on this side. Make sure we're holding at the bottom for a few seconds. Great job, you guys. Let's go ahead and wherever we're at, we're going to make this one our last one. Wonderful. Okay, so the last part of our cool down, we're going to do my favorite where we thread the needle. So I'm going to take my left hand in between my right arm and my right leg, place my hand on the ground, push into the ground with the back of your palm, and pull away with your upper back. It's going to help us open up everything, a little bit of rotation in there. Also a time to make sure we are slowing down our breath. So I know we normally do child's pose at the end. This is a good alternative. It's going to stretch out our upper bodies a little bit more. So we want to make sure we're inhaling nice and deep and exhaling nice and slowly here. And we're going to do one more deep inhale. And a nice long, slow exhale. And we're going to turn that hand back under our shoulder and move on to the other side. So I'm going to take my right arm this time, thread it through my left arm and my left leg, pushing into the ground, pulling away with my upper back. Really feeling this stretch right under the shoulder blade. Inhaling nice and deep into the nose, exhaling nice and slow through the mouth, feeling our bodies relax with each exhale. Feeling our heart rates come down. Nice, calm, and relaxed here. Your body ready for some lunch. And let's go ahead and take one more big inhale. And a nice, long, slow exhale. Return your hand under your shoulder. You can either return to seated or standing. That will conclude the last Halloween version of Exercise with Exos. Thank you all so much for coming. Thanks, Elise and Brittany, for dressing up with me. I really enjoyed that. I love to have a little bit of fun, as you guys know. We do have a couple new classes starting next week. So Luis is doing I don't recommend it either, Brittany. Mine is also a swimsuit. It says Bride Tribe on it. So it's not a good way to work out. So we do have a couple new classes starting next week. So Luis is going to be teaching an ab and core class, and I will be teaching a total body strength class. So those are going to be up on the SharePoint site on the Exos SharePoint site. So feel free to add those to your calendar and join us for that. There also are a ton of classes up at Exos at home. So those are, you can do on demand classes via YouTube there, or you can take some live classes with some different instructors throughout Exos. So that's also a good way to mix it up. And don't forget, we also can come and teach a private class for you and your team during a meeting, where you can lead a stretch break for you and your team before a meeting. Those SharePoint, up on our SharePoint site, we have forms for you to fill out, so we can help you out with that. But again, thank you guys so much for coming. I really hope you enjoyed all the Halloween themed workouts. I really am probably going to do some Thanksgiving themed ones, because I love holidays and theme things and being creative with that. So thank you all for coming. I hope you have a wonderful day and good job today.